Hello everyone, my name is Tabby and welcome back to my channel Keeping Tabs, where today I'm doing my May wrap-up. I haven't filmed a video in so long. I feel so out of it. I don't know what's going on in the booktube world. I have no clue. Where have I been? I don't know, just doing nothing. So, I only read a total of 4 books in the month of May, plus the one book I'm going to share with you guys that I read in April, because I only read 1 book in April. I'm gonna start with the book I read in April, and it was an audiobook that I listened to, and it was, I don't remember, hang on. Kidnapped by the Pirate by Kira Andrews. And there's the cover, and the story was exactly what you would think it would be looking at the cover. It was a male-male romance, smutty, emphasis on the smutty, okay? So smutty. I mean, you know what? It gets dirty. And this narrator, he wasn't just reading. He was acting. He was the captain. He was the kid. He was into those scenes, okay? The moans, the groans, all of it. He done did it. Also, the captain is like 40, and I don't know if you saw the cover. Does not look like a 40-year-old. I don't know if that is the same. Like, does that look like a 40-year-old or a younger than 40? But yeah, 18 and 40. Those are the ages. It's a bit of a gap. I don't even know what to rate this book because I really just listened to it to get out of a slump and to just like pass the time, and I guess it did its job. I wasn't bored. It was okay. I just don't really remember much. So maybe like a 3 stars? I don't know. The next one I picked up was Lover Awakened by J.R. Ward. This is the 4th book in the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. Oh my lord. This series is officially on my favorite series of all time list, even though I've only read the 4 out of what, 17 books? I'm not even exaggerating. I'm pretty sure it's the 17th book that just came out. That's a lot. Damn, I don't know if I'm gonna get it all the way up to 17. But every time I read a new book and get introduced to a new character and find out that that character has their own book, it makes me want to continue on, because I only had a plan to read up to book 5. But reading this book introduced me to 2 characters that I really want to read about, and their books are after book, but I think their books are 6 and 7 and 8. So now I'm reading up to book 8. It follows the brother Zadist, who is like the most evil of the brothers. He used to be a sex slave and a blood slave. He was physically, emotionally, sexually abused for hundreds of years as a sex slave and a blood slave, and that has done its toll on his whole mental state, his whole being. He is savage, in the worst way. He is brutal. He kills people. Like regular people, not the bad guys that are supposed to kill, but like other people that are innocent, he kills them. And those people are mainly women that he, yeah, well, they're women. He's just not a good guy. He's not a good guy in the beginning, but everybody loves him, and I'm just like, huh? I've heard so many people say that this is their favorite book and that Zadis is their favorite character, and he does grow so much in this book and he changes so much, and I do love that whole story arc. I love it. It also follows this girl named Bella, who is kidnapped in the beginning of the book, and she was in the 2nd book, so we kind of know her already, and Bella and Zadis had a little connection in the 2nd book, so her kidnapping fueled this fire to save her, and now they're bonding over similar traumatic experiences, and they're growing and healing together, and now they're in love and blah blah blah. Like it's a, what is this? Urban fantasy or paranormal? I'm still confused about which, like, what is the difference? I don't know. I did enjoy this book, but not as much as I was expecting based on the fan reviews and the raving reviews about Zadist's book. Oh my gosh, it's my favorite book in the series. Like, it was good, but nobody told me about the next book after this, which I will get into later. I gave this 5 stars. I think all of these books get a 5 stars for me, and not even like a critical 5 stars, because I don't read these books critically because they're not good critically. They're just junk food. I've said it before. There's so many problematic things in these books, like sexism and just all kinds of horrible things that are problematic, but it's just fun. It's fun and it's mindless and I love it. We get to find out a lot more about Fury, who's a sadist brother, and I love him. I did not care about him before, but now I'm really looking forward to his book. We also get more of John, who we met in book 2 and who I love so much. And of course my favorite character in this whole series, which is Butch. We get more of him, and Vicious, and they're my two favorite, like, okay, Butch is my favorite character, but Butch and V, they are my favorite friendship. They love each other so much, and it's precious and pure, and everything that is good in the world that's what their friendship is. Just perfect. The next book I read was From Here to You by Jamie McGuire, and this is the first book in the Crash and Burn series, and I think that's going to be 3 or 4 books long. It's also kind of a spin-off from the Maddox Brothers series, which is a spin-off from Beautiful Disaster. It's about this girl named Darby Dixon who finds out she's pregnant on the day of her wedding, and she's about to marry a very abusive person, and once she finds out she's pregnant, she realizes she has to look out for this little baby now, and it's not safe for her to stay with this abusive guy, so she flees Texas, runs to Colorado to start a new life with her pregnant self, and she meets Scott Trexler, who is an ex-Marine and ex-FBI, and now he does government security, and now he works in government security and is currently employed with a very top secret organization. He's not allowed to talk about what he does, and because Darby's fiance was also no, he wasn't a Marine, he was just a soldier, I think. She does not trust Navy, Army, soldier, Marines. She does not trust anybody with the uniform. I don't even think she trusts cops. This is just a classic story of a damaged girl who falls in love with this really nice guy who's been looking for the one for his whole life, and as soon as he meets Darby, he realizes she's the one I've been dreaming about since I was 12. And it's just cute. I just really like it. It also has a subplot going on, including the workplace that Trex works at, the top secret facility. He works at NORAD, Cheyenne Mountain, and he's guarding something he doesn't even really know. And there are times in this book where you think it's like aliens or something, because it's under the mountain, under like levels and levels and levels, and there's a certain level that he's not allowed to go past, so he's like very suspicious about what's down there. Nobody's allowed in and nobody's allowed out. So it's weird. I feel like it's aliens, but this is a new adult romance, so it's probably not aliens, but it feels like it could be aliens. And we did not get any kind of conclusion about what's going on in the mountain, so I think that's going to be the whole underlining story that connects the 3 books or 4 books. Because the next book follows a girl named Naomi, and Naomi is on Scott's security team. So obviously we're going to get more about what is going on under that mountain, because I am so curious. I really hope it's aliens, because imagine the twist. That would be like freaking aliens in this random contemporary romance book, like turns out to be aliens. I don't know. It's not gonna be aliens, but imagine. The next book that I read, which was my favorite book of the whole month, was Lover Revealed by the Black Dagger. No, I lied. By J.R. Ward. Book 4 in the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. This is the best book in the series so far. The end. Period. That's it. That's all, folks. Good night. I love this book so much. Oh my gosh. It follows Butch. He is my favorite character. I love him so much, and it follows Marissa, who we met all the way in book 1, and I think the reason I love this book so much, not only because Butch is my favorite, but I also really loved the love story and the relationship in this book, because these are characters that we have met and that we have known since book 1. We knew what their lives were like before the whole before Wrath and Beth met. We knew what their lives were like. We see them being affected by Wrath and Beth's relationship, because Marissa, who is the love interest in this book, she was supposed to be Wrath's mated one. Like, she was expecting to mate with him, but he just didn't want it. So she hung around for hundreds and hundreds of years, thinking that one day it would happen, but it never happened. So now that Beth comes along in book 1, she's like pushed to the side, and Butch, he's like a regular human. He was a detective in book 1, and he was really good friends with Beth. And now that Beth has been pulled into the vampire world, he got pulled into it too. So both of their lives change in book 1. And book by book, you see their relationship growing. You see them meet kind of at the end of book 1, and Butch is like in love with her, and they're both like attracted to each other, and then book by book their relationship goes up and down and up and down, and then in this book they just, oh, I love it so much. I love it. I also really love Vicious. He is a brother of the Black Dagger Brotherhood, and he has some really cool powers. He can see the future, but throughout this book he hasn't been able to have a vision, and that is really taking a toll on him because he's always had this power to see what's coming, and he can't see, and he's freaking out, and everybody else is freaking out, and he's holding it in because he doesn't want his brothers to worry about it, but he's having these nightmares that are waking him up screaming in the middle of the night. And the friendship between Butch and Vicious is precious, and I love it because they love each other so much. I can't. And also at the end of book 1, Wrath was thinking about, like, do we need to kill this human because he knows a lot of stuff, or do we just wipe his memory? And then Vicious stood up for Butch and said, no, we need to keep him because I had a dream about him, which is a vision. And now all these books later we just find out everything, and I love it so much. The last book I read in May was a graphic novel, and it is Saga Volume 2. Nothing really to say about this book. It's the second continuation for Saga Volume 1, and it's about these two individuals who fall in love with each other and have a baby, but they come from two warring species, so that's like a big no-no. So now they're on the run because everybody wants to kill them because they're traitors now, and also they had a kid, so that's like crazy. And yeah, it's just a lot of fun. There's a lot of action, and it's way more X-rated than I thought it would be. And I'm like talking about visuals. There's a lot of X-rated visuals in here, which I never expected from a graphic novel, and I'm digging it. There's a lot of like violence and blood and X-rated content in here that I never thought I would see visually drawn out, you know, on the page. So I think that's really cool. And also just the graphics alone, the art style, I love it. I'm very picky about art style when it comes to graphic novels. If I don't like the way the lines are drawn or the way the colors are, like, that will really stop me. I don't know if I can read a black and white graphic novel. I know it sounds crazy, and I have Death Note, and that's black and white, so I don't know what's gonna happen there, but hopefully I like it. I have the first 3 volumes. I don't know how to rate these. I'm realizing I'm not good at rating books. I thought I had a system, but every time it comes to actually sitting down and rating it, I don't freaking know. Anyways, these are the books that I read in the month of May. I loved every page, and these are backwards. Let me know if you've read the Maddox Brothers series. Beautiful Disaster, Walking Disaster, Beautiful Oblivion, Beautiful... there's a bunch of them. Let me know. They're so good. I definitely recommend them. Also, please read Black Dagger Brotherhood. How many times do I have to say it? You will not regret it. They're so quick and easy, and it's taking every ounce of my being not to just binge all of these books, because I just don't want it to end. So I don't want to binge them just yet. I just want to, like, you know, I read 2. I just want to like sit for a month and then read the next one. They're so good, especially this one is the best. Yeah, that was all I have to share with you guys. Thank you for watching. Bye.